machine make a terrible grinding noise like that? Well, chances are the bearings are stuffed. It's a pretty easy job, takes a little bit of time, but get bearings for them off eBay. I think ours cost 40 bucks, then probably an hour's work to rip it apart and swap them over, so I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to get it out of here first and put it in the garage, so I've got a bit more space to work with. So unplug it, undo the pipes, then I'll see you out in the garage. It's also a good chance to clean up all the crap that falls behind the washing machine that you never get to. So undo these screws at the back. One wire here that unplugs. Just plugs out. Takes the display off. So it just slides forward and lifts up. So I might just take a photo of this so I know where it plugs back in. So you've got this little loom that comes up through here, goes down into the washing machine, so you can that all unplugs. There's a clip here. Then there's that, I don't know what that does, but that clips on there. And then those wires clip there and there, and the earth wire over there. So we can just unplug them, so unclip all them, and then that whole lid should come off. That should just come off now. Right, so now we're going to pull this bowl out as the next task. Okay, so now we've got the top off. We've got the bowl just sitting there. So this is the unit, doesn't have the agitator that sticks up in the middle. This has just got the little one down the bottom. So to pull that out, just simply undo this, center bit, there's a screw there, and then that should come out. I'll have to put this down to do it, need 2 hands. Just pulls out. So now we've got the shaft there. Now we have to take off these 3 screws and just pull this off. Right, so I pulled those screws off. Then there's this little gear cog thing that goes under the shaft as well. I did drop one of the screws in the bowl and it went down one of the holes, so I don't know where it's gone, but hopefully I'll find it before we start putting it back together. So just put them aside and continue on. So now we're going to take this top plastic cover off. It sits on top of the bolt. So they're just little clips in the side there. We won't clip all them. We've done do those springs. There's that spring there. She's all sort of suspended on these rods. That's how they're free to move around. So I'll unclip all them. So I got that top ring off, and you can see, just see the side of the bowl there. It's all pretty gross. I'm going to tip this on its side now, so I'll tip it over. You can hear a whole heap of water running around in there, and I'll put it on the trolley so it doesn't actually, water doesn't go everywhere, and then we'll get stuck into pulling the motor out. Right, so this is the bottom of the washing machine. We just have to undo this nut and pull this off, and this is the direct drive motor. So it's actually, this is the motor, so it spins it directly. There's no belts or anything. Power just goes straight into it under here. So we're gonna unplug that once we pull this off, and then we can get to the bearings after that. So I'll undo this plastic bolt, 16 mil. So we'll have to hold it as you turn it, but it's not done up tight. Just undo that. So that's there. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's just full of permanent magnets in there. We have to undo these 4 bolts, pull that off, and then we can unplug it. They're a 10 mil. So that just pulls straight off. I'll leave it that way so I know it goes back up, straight up. Move the camera so you can see. There's this black ring around here, so I just have to unclip somehow. So you just have to twist that. There's a couple of little tabs here. I had to pull that tab out and then just give it a twist and it comes off. So there's those 3 wires there that you have to unplug. I don't know if you can see in here, but there's a little red, or R, B and Y. So for red, blue and yellow. That one's actually white, but the wire is yellow. So yeah, just unplug them. Pull them out, they should pull straight out. Okay, we're just round at the front again, or the top of the machine. So this bolt, that should just pull straight out now. So I'll do that. Should just lift it straight out towards me. So the bowl's out now. I might try and clean some of that up before I put it back in. See all the other crap that's left in here. A little bit of water, a few pegs, plenty of coins. And just down there, that's the screw I dropped in there before, so let's have that back. So we'll clean it. So we'll clean all that out, give it a bit of a wipe down. You got a bearing in there. That's what we're going to replace. So you can even tell when you go to turn. You can hear that grinding noise, and that's the grinding noise when it's on spin cycle and makes that terrible noise. So there's a bearing there in there. I'm guessing the seal's on top of the bearing there. And if we go around the other side and look in from the bottom, so there's another bearing there that shaft spins on. So we're changing this one and the one on the other side and the little seal boot on top of that. So now we're going to pull the drive shaft out. So there's a little nut that goes on here which spins with the shaft, so we've just got to hold the shaft and undo that nut. The vice grip's here. I'll hold it with that and then get that with a shifter. Yeah, that's cracked it. That should just come off now. It's a nut there. And that should pop out now. So also it would be handy with a rubber mallet, but I've just got a dirty old claw hammer, so I'll try and give it a tap. So there's the drive shaft there. Bit of crappy grease. Sort of left behind. Give that a bit of a clean up before I put it back in. It's time to get the bearings out now. Oh, the shifter's probably got a bit better leverage. There we go. It's popped out. So that's the seal. That's the seal. It's pretty gross, isn't it? So we've got a new one of them that comes with the kit that you get off eBay. And there's the bearing. That's the top bearing. There's a spacer in there, spacing out the top and the bottom bearings. So I'll just try and get a screwdriver in there and let me see a bit better. Get a screwdriver in through there, punch the bottom bearing out, get this rod out, and then punch this top one out from the back, punch it out this way. So sort of just make a note that bearing's not fully engaged in there, not fully up against the drum there. So when I put the new one in, I'll make it the same. So I've just found that my 1/2-inch socket extension, I think that's going to fit just nice in there. So it should be alright to punch it out like that. There it is. So let's punch that bearing out. I'd say that's the stuffed one, because that's the one closest to the water. As you turn that. Pretty rusty, but you can feel it grinding as you turn it. It's not too bad though. So that's popped out of there. Got the rod there that you have to keep. That has to go back in with the new bearings, and then I'll get me extension and belt that bottom one out from this end. Yeah, there's the bottom one. They're the same bearings, top and bottom, so you can't stuff them up. That one's actually not too bad, but we'll swap them both. If you're wondering, on this model, 6005 DU2. That's the bearing type. We'll give it a bit of a clean up now and clean all that crap out of the inside of the bowl there, and it'll be time to put the new bearings in. So just a little bit of spray and wipe type stuff, cleans it up not too bad anyway. It's pretty gross, but no, obviously no one ever sees it. Once it's out, it's good to give it a bit of a clean up. I'll clean up the bowl as well, just the outside of it, as you can see here. Giving that a bit of a spray with spray and wipe, so I'll clean all that crap off too as much as I can. And you should be right to ready to start putting the bearings back in. I sprayed all that with some spray and wipe too, so hopefully most of that gunk will come out. Right, so time to put the new bearings back in. This is the kit that I got off eBay. It was like 40 bucks, and just make sure it suits the model of your washing machine. So I just looked at the model of the washing machine, which was just in here somewhere. I think it was under the lid. No, it wasn't. It was over here. There was a sticker on top of the washing machine, and it is model WL1068P1. So just make sure the kit you're getting matches your washing machine. So it's time to put these in now. I'm going to put the bottom one in here. So as you remember, it doesn't fully seat in. It sits a bit proud of this little sleeve here. So I'll put the bottom one in, and then put the top one in. Then you put the shaft in from the top and do the nut up here, and that'll pull them together. Don't forget to put your rod in the middle. So I'll just put this rod in, the spacer, and then put this one in from the top. That one went in pretty easy. It's not fully seated, but I'll put the rod in now. So I'll put the drive shaft back in. Make sure you put it the right way in. There's a little thread here, and that's where it goes through the bottom where the nut connects onto. So I'll push in, and it should hit here, I think. So that'll pull the should pull that top bearing down. So I finally got the rod through. Now I've put the nut back on there, and I'm just tighten that nut up, and that'll pull the two bearings together. So you can feel when that's tight. It won't go any further. Doesn't go on much, but yeah, they're seated in there now. And turning, no worries. You don't feel that grindy sort of feeling as you did with the old ones. So now we're going to put the bearing seal inside it. So that comes I don't know if you can see that, but it comes pre-greased. And so that just pushes straight over the top of the shaft there. It's supposed to be a watertight seal. So you just push that in, and then so that's in there, but I'm just gonna have to tap it in so it's seated up flush with the bottom of that plastic there. Okay, so now we've got the bearing seal in at the top. It's time to put it all back together. We're all pretty much finished, so I'm just trying to remember where all the parts went and all that, but I'll go through that as well. So we're gonna put the stator back in, and as per the little tabs, or you probably should take it, as whenever I take wiring apart, I usually take a photo just in case, but it does have the labels here, which colour goes to which one on the stator. So then this cover pops back on there. So that just sits on there, and then just have to give it a turn. Clips in. Otherwise pop through there, back through there. And that goes back on there. And we'll do those back up. So all that's back in. I'll flip it back up now and start working on it from the top. Rightio, so all back together. We'll chuck it on spin cycle and make sure she's going to work. She's quite as. Problem solved. $40. Probably 2 hours work in the end. Better than throwing out the washing machine and forking out another $700 to buy a new one. So yeah, a little bit of effort, but yeah, she lives to fight another day. She'll do another 7 years before I have to replace it again. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. If you found this useful, like and subscribe, and I'll keep bringing some useful household maintenance jobs for you. Cheers. See ya.